Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Hiroki. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. You here to make war? We surrender.
Falsehood. Important things are needed new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look, these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Esri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to BedLife for Friday, August 6th, 2021. TBIF, which of course means thank Bird, it's Friday, or otherwise, thanks me, it's Friday, because it's me, Birdo Prey 5, who also sometimes identifies as Maria Gonzalez, an 18-year-old lesbian Mexican dreamer, undocumented. But that's only for the purposes of submitting scripts to Alex Kurtzman and Paramount Plus for Star Trek. Apparently it increases my nerd cred somehow. So, yes, Wesley, I was late. I was 5 minutes late. Apologies. We had someone here. I thought they were going to be from Hillram, the bed company. Instead, they were from the company Hillram hires out to move the beds because the beds are so goddamn heavy that they have, they need specialists to move it. Apparently, this new bed is going to weigh in the neighborhood of 800 pounds without me on it. So it will be well over 1,000 pounds with me on it. Now, I hope, I'm pretty sure where I am, the floor is sturdy enough to support that weight. I think we'll be okay. It does have 6 wheels, so it's should be only a few hundred pounds on any given spot. Is it 6? It might be 4. Whatever it is, we should be okay. But I wouldn't jump up and down in the bed, I'll tell you that much. Even if I could, which I can't, I wouldn't, because I don't know. Seems like a lot of weight. Anyway, Richie Poole was first in the chat that I see at 3:02 p.m. It says, "Hello world, it's Friday." Yay indeed. And Richie Poole says, "Dear Bop, dear Sop, no Sisso Pray this weekend. So yeah, nobody need bother message her because she cannot slap me." Not Ryan Johnson says hello in Qapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Not Ryan Johnson. Richie Poole says Qapla. Qapla. Richie. Not Ryan Johnson says Dear Hop. Who the hell is Hop? Richie Poole says Dear Mop. Not Ryan Johnson wants Dear Pop. Like Lollipop. Dear Lollipop, says Richie Poole. Not Ryan Johnson says, where is Maria Opre, the true leader of Karoga? You're looking at her. Richie Poole says, Dear Crop, that's for Deej. You know, the whole family farming thing. Crop. I get it. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird is late, just throwing that out there. That was at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, long before I was late. Wesley Crusher says, Bird of Prey is Dear Bop today. It is, Wes. Mondays and Fridays are Dear Bop. Richie Poole says to shut up, Wesley. That's not very nice. Wesley says to shut up, Richie Poole. I mean, hi. Richie Lowles. Wesley says, we demand Dear Bop. Not Ryan Johnson demands a scotch. Wesley says, I demand to take a lunch break so I can watch Dear Bop. You should tell that to your manager. Richie Poole prefers Dear Sop. I assume that's Sis Opre. Not Ryan Johnson says, you have a lunch break and you get a lunch break. Lunch breaks for everyone. Richie Poole says, lunch breaks for everyone, 24 hours a day. Wesley says, thanks, not ruin my Star Wars. Thanks, not ruin my Star Wars, Johnson. Richie Poole is saying every day, all day, every day should be lunch hour. Captain MKG Qapla Cap, been a while. Says, thanks for the Friday, Bird. You're welcome, Cap. Wesley says, hail, Bird o' Prey. Hail, Karoga, Qapla. And then puts in all the custom emojis. Thank you, Wes. And he says, I bet by the time Bird gets to the Dear Bops, I'll be back to work from lunch. Oh, well, that's how life goes. I'm sorry, Wes. And Wes says, everyone take a Deloja break before Bird starts the show. That's probably exactly what I was doing when you wrote that at 4 p.m. Wes says, greetings to Captain MKG. I told everybody soon, and then 9 minutes later, I started the stream. Not Ryan Johnson says, by the time Bird gets to Dear Bob, you'll be back at work from next week's lunch. Wesley says, not Ryan Johnson, truer words have never been said before. The Random Menace says, greetings from the future. Started watching For All Mankind. Main theme written by Jeff Russo, composer of the main title of Picard and Disco. Graphics of the opening credits are in the disco style. I see nothing that resembles Discovery and For All Mankind. But if you see it, it's okay. I'm not going to argue. It's been a while since I've seen it, and now my my Fire TV cancel Alexa, wants to update a software. I guess so. We'll install the software update. So we'll momentarily lose access to our outside cameras. No, they're coming up, so I don't know. Yeah, Positive Candor says you're supposed to skip the credits. John DeMarco says greetings to all, and the Random Menace says he's not a quitter. Wesley says, is Bird late? I was late at that point, Wes. Positive Candor says, what does quitting have to do with skipping credits? John Meyer says, behold, the despot begins, I think he means. Random Menace says, Positive Candor, lol, I actually like the credits. Thomas Potts says, today is Thursday. It is not, Thomas. I almost wish it was. We'd have a whole extra day. Wesley says, Bird is 10 minutes late, like always. Not like always. Positive Candor says, Americans skip credits. It's true. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Cinnabon Bunny says, hello. Cinnabon was watching Cinnabon stream earlier with him flying around and doing a bunny stream at the same time. I feel so bad for Cinnabon. Cinnabon the bunny, Cinnabon the rabbit, is like me in rabbit form. His back legs are paralyzed. He's happy. He's a happy rabbit. Cinnabon sits him up, pops him up, and he looks happy. He looks like a regular bunny. Does his bunny stuff, but he can't move. So Cinnabon's going to move him around the house. So I feel very bad for Cinnabon the bunny. Positive Candor says, we the people. No, we the people, not we the peepholes. Richie Poole says, hail Karoga, Richie. Fudak says, evening, all evening, Fudak. The Random Menace says, Bird is wearing his earphones. What? Bird is wearing his earphones in the nose. What does he plug into the wrong place? What else does he plug into the wrong places? Yes, I was pretty sure the earphones in the ear, the nose plugs are in the nose. All is good. Life is good. John Meyer says, name it gorilla and then ignore it. Name it gorilla and then ignore it? I don't get it. Richie Poole says, Bird, will you have to reinforce the floor? I really don't think so, Richie. I've got a steel beam running across the basement, like 4 feet to the left of my bed. And I got a cinder block wall, maybe about 4 feet in front of my bed, load bearing. So I think we'll be okay. We're pretty close to load bearing walls on 2 sides, and not terribly far from the front of the house, which I get is also load bearing, maybe 6 feet in to the right. So I think we're good. I think we're good. Wesley says that's 1,600 pounds in one spot. No, Wes, it doesn't work like that. If the whole bed is 800 pounds and I'm another 250, that's 1,050 pounds. If it's spread over 4 places, that's 275 pounds on each corner, which would be like a 275-pound person standing in one, on your floor. And I could have 4 275-pound people standing in my living room, obviously, without issue. So it shouldn't be too bad. Random Menace says the next BedLife will be from the basement. Oh God. Now Mama Prey is worried. Wesley Crutches, Bird of Prey, I would put a 6x6 stun right under where the bed is going to be. Stud, I assume you mean. I honestly think we'll be okay, Wes.
I think that this bed is also...
This bed is probably 600 pounds. I don't think this bed's 800 pounds. I think this bed's probably 600 pounds. So it's only going to be another couple hundred pounds more. Wesley says, positive Kansas, Bird of Prey has perma-banned Ciso Prey to Jersey forever. No, I haven't. John Myers says 3/4 inch plywood under the bed to distribute the weight. I can't do that, John. We've got to be able to roll the bed around. When we got to move the bed, it's got to be able to roll around the living room. Dee Myers is Bird of Prey. How are you and the family? Doing okay, Dee. Thank you for asking. So Sunday, I've got 2 doctors coming So in the morning and the afternoon, I don't know if we'll be doing a Sunday afternoon stream, or if we do, I don't know what time it'll be. But that's it. That's all that matters. Tomorrow for Cinema Saturday, we are locked in. We're going to be doing Terminator 2. Now, Terminator 2 is a 2.5 hour long movie, so it's a long one. I don't know if I can start early or not, but definitely we'll start by 3 p.m. The latest. Hopefully, maybe even a little earlier. I will update everyone by Twitter, and I will put the video up on YouTube with the start time so you guys can see it if it's going to be an early start. Otherwise, plan for 3 p.m. Eastern like it normally is. It's Terminator 2 tomorrow, Judgment Day. The T-1000. The Random Menace is Wesley Crusher, our all-American hoses made of cardboard. Hoses? Houses. You mean houses? And no, this is a brick house for once. Although the inside walls are wood, except for the cinder block walls. DD Byers is Positive Candor. Hello. Cardinal Sin says Qapla, vertebrae Qapla, Cardinal Sin. Good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're okay. I know what's you have my condolences, Cardinal. I hope you are hanging in. Dee Myers is the Random Menace. Hello, future man. Any good news from the future? Come on, future man. We could use some good news. Positive Candor says hello to Dee Myers. Dee says hail to Cardinal Sin. Golgo 13 says Qapla, open fire on Kurtzman and never let up. Dee says hello to Gogo. Gogo says hail to all. Wesley says, I have a feeling there will be some good deer bops today. Oh, you have a feeling, Wes. Good. Random Menace says to Dee Myers, the planet is still here, so that's good news. Richie Poole says, I hate it when Netflix tries to skip the opening and closing credits. I always have to override that. I don't mind the closing credits most of the time, but the opening sometimes unless it's Star Trek Enterprise, and then obviously you have to watch the credits every single time. Dee Myers says, always glad to know that. Dee Myers says, the Pudak, good evening. No, there's no weed in peepholes at Random Menace. Dee Myers is Bird of Prey, then you would have to call the basement life on the side of the bed. That's true. Why would you want... I'm not banning Ciso Prey. I didn't ban Ciso Prey. She's just busy this weekend. Positive Candace says, how often do you play Spin the Bed? Not very often. Richie Poole, it's a long one. It's true. Dee Myers says, Positive Candor, I like to spin... Somebody's at the door, Sassy. Who is it? FedEx is here to pick up a FedEx bag.
On the doorknob.
Okay.
You too. Thank you.
I gotta say, I gotta get impressed with FedEx with their pickup time. I called them I had to pick up at 3 p.m., 3:30 maybe even, and they were still able to. No, it was 2:30, and they were able to schedule the pickup between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. And here they are at 4:30 p.m. picking up a package that I only scheduled 2 hours ago. You know what? I will give credit where credit is due. FedEx, you're getting my praise. It's not, see, it doesn't always have to be negative press. I went to FedEx. They remembered where I was signing in from. I didn't have to put in what country I wanted. I just had to log in with my username and password, which was saved. And boom, boom, hit ship, hit schedule a pickup. I didn't have to put in, all I had to put in was my name. I don't know why they didn't remember my name. They had my address saved. All I had to put in was my name, and that was it. Approve, done. That was all and tell them how many packages I needed to be picked up and the approximate weight, which is understandable. Fine. I mean, it was only one package and 1 pound. So fine. That was all good. It was doable. And now, assuming it actually gets there, now it's overnight, but it's Friday, so I don't know if it'll get there. It probably won't get there Saturday. It probably will get there Monday. That's fine. As long as they don't lose it, FedEx, don't let me down. I'm giving you praise. Don't let me down. Yeah. Unlike that other company, that Browner company, the Turdistani version of FedEx, if you will, that has problems every effing time I go to their website. Nope. Credit given where credit is due. FedEx makes the pickups on time. Dan 23 ages to get the video to come on. Oh, Dan, you didn't miss much. Welcome, Dan. Carlos says hi and hope everyone is as well as can be. Qapla, Carlo. And he says, hail Karoga. Absolutely. Hail Karoga. Positive Candace says, when does BirdTube start? As soon as I get the money and the technical know-how to create a competitor to YouTube, I will. But it probably will be a quarter past never. John Meyer says the bed. Yes. Carlos says every effing time. And Eric Sonder, thank you so much for a $2 super chat. Says Qapla Bird TBIF and happy birthday Lucille Ball. Happy birthday to Lucille Ball indeed. If it's her birthday, congratulations, Lucille Ball, comedian, famous, funniest, one of the funniest women of all time. Hell, one of the funniest people of all time. And we would not have Star Trek without Lucille Ball. It was filmed, Star Trek, originally filmed at Desilu Studios. Lucille Ball was a big proponent of the show, and without her, it's likely we would not have ever had Star Trek, the original series. Without Star Trek, the original series, it's likely we would never have had any Star Trek at all. And could you imagine where we would be? What would the world today be without Star Trek? Would cell phones even exist? Where would they be? Would tablets exist? Where would they be? Would medicine, so much. Star Trek has inspired so much in the field of science, engineering, medicine, space, communication. We would be living on a different planet without Star Trek. Would there be Star Wars even is a good question. We don't know. Everything's in the balance. Without Star Trek, the entire world would be a completely different place. Richie Poole says today's Dear Bop sponsored by FedEx. Positive Candor says, how much does it cost to ship Kroganite? Kroganite's cheap to ship. You just don't tell them what it is. Captain Track says, hello, Captain Track. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, okay. What have you done with the real Bird of Prey? This is not the rant we were expecting about FedEx. That's what I'm saying. Credit given where credit's due. Dee says, Bird of Prey, is it true that FedEx is your number one sponsor? No, I wasn't sponsored by FedEx. But if they want to sponsor, they can. Dee says, how much is FedEx paying you to say that? Nothing. Carlo Albanese says, £1? No, $2. $2 was Arabic Sonder. Carlo Albanese says, Monday next year. Monday next year. I don't get the question. Richie Poole says, today's Dear Bop, not sponsored by UPS. I don't think they're ever sponsored me, Richie. Dee says, Kevin Track, howdy, hope you're doing well. Kevin Track says, UPS is the best. FedEx does not deliver right to him. Well, Cap, you move to a better city. And they'll deliver okay. Carlos says, so Bird of Prey loves FedEx, but doesn't like UPS. I would say that's a fair assessment. I much prefer FedEx. Captain Track says to Dee, hi, doing all right. How are you? Dee says, Bird of Prey took out UPS and is now backing. Bird of Prey took out UPS and is now backing Bird of Prey 5. M. Tax Shark says, we love Lucy. Indeed, Lucille Ball from We Love Lucy. Used to watch that a lot as a kid. My fifth grade teacher used to love it. Used to try to get the whole class to watch episodes of I Love Lucy. Carlo Albanese says, is this the Twilight Zone? Is it Sunday? Will Bird of Prey actually eat the out-of-date spam Mama Prey saved for him? God, I hope not. Probably not today, Carlo. The Random Menace says, thank you, Lucille Ball, for Discovery. No, she does not get the blame of Discovery. Hector Accented says, the smell of misogyny in the evening. Yep, it's a bird stream. What'd I say? That she was a funny person? That's misogyny? Dee Myers has kept in track. Good here. You're welcome. And he's doing okay. Carlos says Warp Drive. Jeff B says the Space Shuttle Enterprise. Yeah, we wouldn't have the Space Shuttle Enterprise. We'd have a different space shuttle. Wesley Crusher donated $5. Thank you, Wes. Says, okay, I'm an impatient bastard. Where are the Dear Bops? We'll get right to them, Wes. We'll get right to them, I promise. Jeff B says, hope DD all is well in the Myers household. Absolutely. Richie Bulls' Bird of Prey. Without Star Trek, my childhood would have even been more lonelier than it was. Arabic sign Bird of Prey. Also today in history, the first atomic weapon was used. Really? Today is Hiroshima? Or was this a test? A test of the weapon? Must have been a test, because usually they talk about it on the news when it's Hiroshima. Carlos's turrets are the best defense from UPS. Indeed they are, Carlo. Indeed they are. And Jeff B is enjoying Friday. Good for you. Okay, so because Wes is so into Dear Bop, we will certainly go ahead and do Dear Bops, because I believe our friend Wesley is on a lunch break, and we don't want him to miss it if we can avoid it. So Let's get the window sorted. We have a fair number of Dear Bops. Okay. Dear Bop, would you like to play a little math game? If so, it's easy. Sure, I'll play a math game. Pick any number, really any, but the larger it is, the longer this will take. Okay. If the numbers are odd, multiply by 3 and add 1. 3x plus 1. If it's even, divide by 2. Keep doing this to get to the results. I bet I can guess what number you will get to repeat. Math Whiz. Well, here's the problem, Math Whiz. I picked a number, but the number I picked is neither even nor odd. So, what you going to do about that? That said, I think we all said the 3x plus. We all watched the 3x plus 1 video that's been making its way on the YouTube algorithm this past week. So I know where you're going with this. But that said, the number I picked was pi. And pi can be proven to be neither even nor odd. So you're fucked. Excuse my language. Yes, bribery still works here, Wes. We're old-fashioned like that, like Andrew Cuomo. We're old-fashioned. Dear Bop, Math Whiz back. Did you do it? You should get 421. Repeat, 421. No matter what number you started with. Nope, I started with pi. Couldn't do your math. So, failed. Mamo Pray started with the number 2, who also broke your little scheme. Yeah, you should have said an integer greater than 5. 5 or greater would have been the correct way to phrase it. But good try, nonetheless. I give you, a C+ for effort. It was a good try. It was a good try. You showed your work, okay? You showed your work, so you pass. Just not spectacularly. Dear Bob, hi Bob. You want to know what's funny? The very first time I was on the so-called internet, right? I had AOL. And then there was the day AOL opened itself up to the internet. It was a big deal. Oh my God, the people on the internet, they hated the AOL people because they were like, oh, these people, that's made it so easy to get online. And like you had all these noobs from AOL who didn't know what the fuck they were doing, starting to do things like post things on the Usenet and start to go to FTP sites and start to do all these things. Anyway, I was trying to figure out FTP, and I had no idea how FTP worked. I had no idea of any FTP sites whatsoever. So the very first site I tried was ftp.bob.net. And it worked. It worked. It had an anonymous login. And I happened to be able, within my very first try of logging into an FTP site, I was browsing and they had files to share and shit. And I was like, oh, okay, bob.net. I guess that's easy. I guess that's how you do it. You just think up a name and you check if there's a site. I tried joe.net, tom.net. No, none of them work. None of them work. Just Bob. The very first one I thought of, bob.net, worked. I didn't realize how difficult it would be to find the second site. The first one, first try, so easy. Bob.net. That was something. I did a lot of early computer stuff, trial and error, that should not have worked. And it almost made things worse that it worked the first time. Like when I first got a PC, okay, I had no idea. I had no idea how to use DOS. Zero, zilch, zip. The only thing I had used before was an Apple II GS, and a Commodore 64, a Commodore 128. I had no idea how to, quote unquote, run a file in DOS. I had no idea what an exe file was. I had no idea how to do a directory listing. I didn't know anything at all. That said, one of the discs I got from the computer store, which was crooked as fuck. We bought a computer from a 90s computer store where like the guy was, I mean, he was one step above. He probably was a hacker in his spare time. But I had a 486 DX2 50 megahertz processor computer. And he gave me a CD that was supposed to have like 1,000 greatest shareware on it or whatever, before internet was a thing and you could just, well, I mean, it was a thing, but we didn't have fast enough internet to download this stuff. So it was just a CD. So I had no idea how to run the CD. I'm just staring there like an idiot. I put the CD in. I'm at a DOS prompt. Nothing happens. Now I knew somehow that the CD-ROM was the D drive, I think. I read that in the book, that came with the computer, that you could change drives by typing in like D:. So I put in D:, and it came up, and I was, okay, so now I'm on the D drive. So I had no idea what to do. So I just happened to type in run, because run was one of the commands you used either in Apple or Commodore Basic, and it would work. And you know what? Out of all the things for that particular CD, that application happened to be called run.exe. So it worked. So here it was. I thought I knew how to run a CD. I thought you just put the CD in and you type run and it would run any CD. Of course, the next CD I got, I typed run and then it would say invalid file name. I was like, what the fuck? Why isn't this working? And it was only later, after talking to somebody who knew what they were doing, and they explained to me, no, you got to do a DOS, you got to do a directory search, look for anything called like setup or install or whatever. And then I realized that it just so happened the one CD I had happened to be called run.exe. Had it been called anything else, I would never have thought I knew how to work it. I don't know if that's as interesting to you guys as it is to me. I'm going to assume not. But yeah. Thank you, Bob, for bringing me down the old memory hole. Carlos's math exam says, show your work. They didn't like that I cut off my fingers to show them. Not Ryan Johnson vertebrae. Scissoprey has been banned. I never thought I'd see the day. What sort of schism will this cause? That and the other questions will be answered on the next As the Bird Turns. And Dan is getting buffering issues. If it seems to be working for everyone else, Dan, maybe refresh. I'm not sure. Carlos says Commodore 64 with tape deck was fun. He still has his. We had it with a disk drive. The disk drive was big and heavy, but it was an old floppy drive. Richie Pools is Bird of Prey. When using DOS, don't type yes when the computer asks if you really want to reformat your hard drive. That's true. Just hit Y. Dan says live chat keeps becoming unavailable. I'm sorry, Dan. It seems to be working for other people. Not Ryan Johnson, Bird of Prey. So basically, we can blame Lucio Ball for Star Trek Discovery. Got it. Wow, not Ryan Johnson. You were way behind. Carlos says there was before internet. Nah, how could you live without the internet? Hector says Bird runs CD as well as he runs Jeeps. Arabic Sanders says Bird of Prey. Yes, indeed. Today, the atomic bomb was used on Hiroshima. Oh, so today really is the Hiroshima. Wow, we should have talked about that. God damn it. The one day I don't look up what happened on this day in history, and it's the bomb. I could have used the bomb as the thumbnail. Jesus fucking Christ, people. I need to know these things. I need to know these things before I make my goddamn thumbnails. We could have had a nice atomic bomb. I could have talked about Hiroshima, about how we saved millions of lives, mostly American lives, but even Japanese lives, and how all these people bitch about it now. If they were in World War II, if they were fighting in the Pacific Theater, they would have been the first ones to say, drop the bomb! Drop it now! Okay? They didn't want to go onto a fucking island fucking full of mosquitoes and rats and spiders and shit and fight through the jungle with Japanese soldiers sniping at them and using blow torches and shit. And they're going to be worried about the fucking political ramifications of using a nuclear bomb against an enemy that sneakily attacked us first? Fuck them. They would have been like, drop it now. Anything so I can go home and have ice cream and Coney Island hot dogs. That's the only thing they would have cared about. They wouldn't have given a shit that you nuked a few 100,000 Japanese. And in fact, I think it was tens of thousands. I don't even think it was hundreds of thousands. They wouldn't have cared. And they have no business bringing it up now. Anyway, Carlos is run. Actors is not Ryan Johnson. And that she can be as funny or even better than average people. That's Carlos is floppy. Actually, it's even floppier than that floppy. The real floppy. The 5 1/4. Not that 3 1/2. That's hardest. That's not floppy at all. Carlos has always made me laugh. Actor says, where's the 5 1/4 icon? Yeah, exactly. Carlos says, and the 3 1/2 inch floppy. Yes. Well, that's the only, we saw the 3 1/2 inch both times. Richie Poole says, bird rant. Arabic says, we can still talk about it, or at least have a moment of silence. It's true, we could. That said, though, literally more people died in the fire bombings than died in the atomic bombings. So, yes, it was, very sad. I'm not saying it was a high or proud moment. It was a very sad time, but the reality is it absolutely saved both American and Japanese lives. And anybody who tells you otherwise is a bleeding heart liberal, and they don't understand facts. I'm sorry. I know their heart's in the right place. Their heart is in the right place, but their brain is not. And that's dangerous. Positive Candor says 1782, August 7th, George Washington creates the Purple Heart bird of prey, plus it's Cirroc Lofton, Jake Sisko's birthday tomorrow. Oh, happy early birthday to Cirroc Lofton. Maybe we can sing him happy birthday tomorrow. D.D. Myers is bird of prey. No, the rant we all have come to love or love to hate, whichever way you want to put it. And Bez says bird of prey 5 ain't wrong. D.D. Myers says greetings to Bess. Carlos says so much pain, so much destruction. Brandon Menace is 3.5-inch floppy. That is sad. Agnes is 3.5-inch broke, so much more than the 5 1/4. Richie Pools is bird of prey, admits he has a floppy that's only 5 1/4 inches long. Actor says those halves were shitty. Yes. And D.D. Myers has always had to start somewhere. Carlo Albanese says bird of prey. So if N. Kerna uses it on the mortal enemy, it would be North Korea. Okay, if North Korea uses it on their mortal enemy, would that be justified? If their mortal enemy sneak attacks them without provocation, then it might be. It might be. That's when you use it. If you're going to use a nuclear bomb, it's when you get attacked without provocation. That would be to end a war, not to start one. Dear Bob, we need your advice to settle an argument, as we know you are very knowledgeable about this topic. The Deej says that beagles are boring dogs and just lay around all day. El Deadite says beagles are the tastiest animals when prepared properly, especially when cooked on a rotisserie. And I say beagles are the best dogs as they are the smartest canines. What say you, sir? Captain Trek. Sassy? What do you say? Sassy wants food. She's mad. She's walking her way. You pissed Sassy off. Deej, you pissed Sassy off. El Deadite, you pissed Sassy off even more. Oh. Yes, beagles are definitely the smartest breed of dog. And if you don't believe me, just Google search or YouTube search beagle escape videos, and you'll see just how smart beagles are. Nobody should ever eat their beagle, okay? And even if, it's the end of times and the apocalypse has come and it's just you left and your beagle, you should let your beagle eat you. I'm just saying, it's better beagles survive than humanity survives. Because remember, ancient Kurogans sent beagles back in time to save the universe. So it's more important the beagle survives than humanity, because someday in the future, aliens will come to Earth And if they find the beagle, then life in the galaxy will be saved. If they don't find any beagles, the entire galaxy, the entire universe is at stake of being destroyed. Jeff B says beagles have the most annoying bark. That's to show how much they love you. Dear Bob, would you please ask Alexa to translate Dutch the following sentence and tell me what it said? Pick my most beautiful side. Translate to Dutch. Alexa, translate to Dutch. Pick my most beautiful side.
In Dutch is Dick my mooiste kans.
Dick McMoist.com. It's Dick McMoist.com. I hope that helps. 205. Positive Candor says 1974, August 8th, Nixon resigns for Sunday. Thank you, Positive Candor, although I'm not sure I'll be streaming Sunday, but Sunday will be the anniversary of Nixon resigning. He should have stayed on. Captain Track says that was not me. Oh, really? So somebody's pretending to be Captain Trek now. Interesting. Thank you, Captain. Dear Bob, I believe I have lost my sense of smell. I can no longer pick up the scent when my girlfriend farts, and she thinks it's very funny. I guess this is a blessing in disguise. Her toots smell like an open tank off a porta potty used by 1,000 illegal farm workers. But that's not my point, dear Bob. I am... Yes, Sassy, you're mad? She's still mad. But that's not the point. I am concerned that this loss of smell may be dangerous. I might not be able to smell the natural gas leaking from my homemade copper still that I have out back. If I can't detect a link, then kaboom! And I lose 5 gallons of fine hooch. Out here in the backwoods of Illinois, moonshine and backyard booze is the practice, and I need to smell gas before disaster strikes. What should I do? Is this related to my vaccination? Deej Odyssey. I have a feeling that this isn't, in fact, from Deej. But yeah, Sassy, I know. I think somebody's pretending to be Deej. What's that, Sassy? Mamo Prey fell down a well. Oh, Mamo Prey's eating and not feeding you. Potato chips. Well, Sassy, the potato chips aren't really for puppies. No potato chips for Sassy. Well, whoever this is, if it's Deej or not Deej, you should probably contact a doctor. But failing that, Karogan scientists have had some success in shocking your nose back into working again by altering smell sensations from Vicks Vapor Rub. You put that like on one finger and you breathe it in really deep, okay, and you exhale. And then on the other hand, you're gonna want to do. And now it takes a little. You gotta cook this first, but you're gonna put in half a loaf of garlic, some oregano, some thyme, some you know what? Just go to your spice cabinet and pour anything you've got into a frying pan. A little bit of vegetable oil. Get it heated. Strain it through a coffee filter. Put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours. Microwave it for 2 minutes. Spread it on a everything sesame, not sesame, everything bagel, not bagel, breadstick, an everything breadstick, and go back and forth between the Vicks and that about 6 or 7 times an hour for 2 or 3 hours, and you should get some sense of smell back after 12 to 14 weeks of treatment. Once you've got that back, you'll probably be okay to detect the gas at that point. So either one, whatever's easier, but that's an old Kurogan recipe. As for your girlfriend, I would suggest you send her to a a dietitian, because it sounds like she's eating some rancid shit, man. She needs to go on a more natural diet. Richie Poole had no idea beagles were so important. Richie Poole, you never heard the beagle story from Kuroga? How about how Kurogan scientists created beagles in the distant future and sent them back in time to save the universe by increasing the love coefficient of the universe? Wow. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Aravic loves corgis. Corgis aren't bad dogs. They're just not as smart as beagles. Carlo gives a hug to Mamo Prey. El Deadite says, hello, Birdo Prey. Qapla, brother warrior. Hail, Kuroga. Hail, Kuroga. Hail, El Deadite. Although, El Deadite, were you saying you wanted to roast a beagle? If you said that, you made Mamo Prey very sad. I'm going to take it, though, that you didn't actually say that, since Captain Track says that he didn't really say what was attributed to him. Adij, as for was it attributed related to your vaccination, I can't say for sure. But today, on a message board, I did hear somebody who was hospitalized for 7 weeks after getting their first shot. Does it mean that you shouldn't get it? Absolutely not. It just means that for that particular person, they had a really bad reaction. Dear Bop, Joe Biden here. My son Beau, B-E-A-U. That's Bo? Isn't Bo B-O? My son Bo said I should reach out to you as you are quite the smart guy. What do you know about My Little Pony? Have you reviewed the last episode of these shows too advanced? Have you reviewed the last episode, or are these shows too advanced for you? Well, let me tell you, this last episode is one of the best TV shows ever put on the boob tube. This episode is a lot like real life, and you and your dumb followers should be paying attention. In this episode, Twilight Sparkles tries to ready her companions for battle to come, with their friendship proving to be super strong force. Don't mean to be a spoiler kind of guy, but the ponies win, man. It's like me defeating Corn Pop. It was epic. Anyway, I was looking for your take on this episode to see if you saw it the same way we did. I told my sister Jill that we will watch it again together, as she likes the show too. I might even invite President Harris over to watch, as she is a pig phony fan too. Anyway, I bet you're not going to say anything You aren't as smart as you think you are, you lying dog-faced pony soldier. Joe. Wow. Joe Biden has got some balls on him. I suspect it's not the real Joe Biden. No, Joe, I don't watch My Little Pony. Sorry to spoil it. I couldn't care less about My Little Pony. But I'm glad you enjoy it. And I'm glad you and your son, Bo, if that is his real name, can bond over My Little Pony. Dear Bob, soft putty here. Wait. Hold on, Bob. I'm here to say I'm sorry. Sorry to Rock Solid and everyone else for all the horrible things I said. The truth is, I'm jealous of him and the fact his channel outgrew mine. I've just been in so much pain, having a hard time with everything. Please forgive me, Rock Solid. I won't write any more hateful or mean Dear Bob any letters again. Anyone claiming to be me is a liar. Goodbye, soft putty. I don't know. Do we believe him? It is very suspicious that the very next Dear Bop happens to be from Rock Solid himself from his personal email address. 11 minutes later. Anyway, Gary Katzer, aka Rock Solid, from his verified email address, is giving us a health update. He said, just want to provide a brief update regarding where I was with my Bell's palsy, next steps, etc. Medication treatment is complete. Coming off the steroid has left me pretty tired, as I was in bed and out before 9:15 last night, and even took a nap over my lunch yesterday. Monday evening, I had tremors in my left eyebrow. Left side is the affected side. This is good. The muscles and nerves were trying to fire. Also happened for a bit in the office on Tuesday, but nothing since. Last night, I started getting facial tremors and tics on the left side of my mouth. Like the eyebrow tick hasn't added any additional functionality or anything, but it goods the nerves and muscles are firing. This happened a few more times last night and this morning, but no additional motor control. Nothing else of note to report, really. My next doctor's appointment isn't for a couple of weeks. Any changes aren't expected for 1 to 4 weeks at the soonest. I don't know if the nerves will slowly wake up or it'll be like, boom, back to normal. I'll let you know more as I know more. Thank you, Rock Solid. Thank you for the update. If it's anything like it was for me, what little movements I did get back, I got back in bursts. Like one day I just realized, hey, I can move something that I couldn't move before. It wasn't slow. I mean, it's been slow, but they were all like little, there was nothing and then there was something. Nothing, then there was something. I would call them bursts as opposed to a steady climb. Hopefully you have less to go and you'll wake up one morning and you're like, oh shit, I can, open and close my eye again. I can smile again. I suspect that's how it'll be. And I hope it is. Richie Pools is Bird of Prey. Remember now, they taught about the Beagle imperative in my temporal mechanics class in college. We owe everything to the Beagle. Very good, Richie. Carlos is Joe Biden or Joe Rogan. Well, I guess I'd prefer to listen to Joe Rogan. Dee Myers is Bird of Prey. Think that might be LDG or DH, maybe. Dee Dee's Bird of Prey could also have been Salty Tracker, aka Anti-Tracker. Could have been. Dear Bob, We sell eye patches, and it seems some of your viewers need our fine products. We are finding that many of those being vaccinated do end up using our patches, as a large portion of those receiving the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are suffering from Bell's palsy, blood clotting, headaches, joint pain, and explosive diarrhea. You'll find our fine products here at Wuhan. Oh, God. .en.madeinchina.com. Cute cartoon version eye patch. By the way, there is no relationship between our manufacturing eye patches and the originators of the virus. We look forward to selling you our fine products soon. Something Wong. Very good, Something Wong. It's for you. Dear Bob, should I spend my hard-earned money on 1, a John Deere tractor, or 2, a 2021 Jeep Wrangler, or 3, a mail order bride from Thailand, or 4, a Mac computer? I want to treat myself to something nice, and your input will be helpful. Thank you, Deej. Oh, it's a tough one, Deej. If you were doing a mail order bride from almost any other country, I would probably pick any other country. But I be honest, when I see Thailand, I immediately get afraid that even though it might look like a woman, it's not going to be a woman, if you get my drift. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Maybe, I shouldn't be afraid. But, we've all seen, I think, The Hangover 2 or 3, whichever one took place in Thailand. I think it was 2. And, it's scary. It's a scary thought. So, that being said, without the love of a natural, woman, the next best thing is that of a Jeep. So I would choose the Jeep from that list. That said, if you could get a mail order bride from, the Soviet Union or Uzbekistan or some other country, then, like Japan, China, North Korea, whatever, anywhere, I'd probably go with that. But short that, then the Jeep Wrangler. Although for you, maybe you need a tractor. I don't know. I'd go with the Jeep. That's all I know. So the very least I'd go with, I would not go with the Mac computer. I mean, that would be the least useful, I would imagine. But that's just me, Deej. You got to figure out what you like, and maybe you don't mind. Maybe you're more a progressive person than I am. Maybe you're more open. Maybe you're not as old-fashioned, not as bigoted. It's possible. Dee Dee says, Bird of Prey, that's Bangkok you have to worry about. Yeah, but Bangkok is in Thailand. El Deadite says hello to Hector. Dr. Scotty would go with the tractor. Professor Brainy Specs says hello. Hello, Professor Brainy Specs. Dee Dee says, I would say tractor to get more out of it. Richie Pools is Bird of Prey can get a mail order bride through Amazon. You know, I wish I could, Richie. I would have ordered a couple by now. Ordered a couple. Gary Katzer, aka Rock Solid, says Bobo, half English Bulldog, half Beagle. This is our buddy Murphy Mayhem on vacation with us last year. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. Oh. Sassy is in almost the exact same pose right now on the bed next to Mama Prey. Aw. Thank you. Thank you. And Gary says that soft putty son of a bitch. He says, no, that wasn't me who wrote that soft putty thing. And I called BS on that email anyways. I think it confirms my suspicion regarding who I thought it was, which is both good and disappointing. The individual suspect it was, and we talked about this. I've created content for that individual's channel. I've tried to help and give advice, and they insult me out of the blue and video and proceeded to monetize their apology video. So no, not me. And to soft putty, F you. I really don't think that was them. But I have no way of proving or disproving it. So I'm sorry. So soft putty, Rock Solid does not accept your apology if that was you. But hopefully it wasn't you, because I prefer you weren't listening to my channel. And Gary says, should I just call out who I think soft putty is? I think we all know who you think soft putty is. I don't think it requires calling anybody out. And I doubt it. My personal opinion is I doubt it. But anyway, those were the Dear Bops for today. So I personally have been having a dilemma. Okay? And it's COVID related. Okay? For those of you who know, most of you probably know. Maybe you don't think about it. I tend not to think about it. Roxanne says there's one more. Okay, Roxanne, I'll get to it in a minute. I tend not to think about it. But okay, let's get it. Let's get the one more out of the way. Now there's two more. Oh, it's pronounced Beeble. Beeble Bulldog. Beagle Bulldog. Tuesday was his 12th birthday. Thank you, Rock Solid. Beeble for the Beagle Bulldog. Tuesday was his 12th birthday. Happy birthday to the Beeble. Dear Bop. Okay. No, fuck you, soft putty. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I haven't had physical therapy since January, more or less, of last year. I had meant it to get started I had a change in insurance, which caused the pause in the physical therapy for a couple months. But just around March, when I would have been ready to start, COVID started becoming a thing. And, they were like, oh, we need 2 weeks to flatten the curve. And it was a month, and then it was 2, and then Sissopre was very pregnant. And we're like, well, we've got to delay Sissopre's. We were actually like, we had to delay Sissopre's baby shower. We thought 2 months maybe. We're like, well, by the time the baby's born, a couple months old, we'll have done the baby shower. We're still waiting to do the baby shower, mind you. The 1 year mark came for Charlie, and we still never really had the proper party. Anyway, I haven't had physical therapy now in 18 months, maybe more. It's close to it, if not. And I need to start, or I need to maybe start. I don't know. Before the Delta variant, I was ready to start really soon. But I'm only half vaccinated. You guys know I took the first shot. I was pretty pro-vaccine. I really thought I'd take the vaccine and I wouldn't have any issues. And yeah, okay, my arm would hurt. Maybe I'd get a runny nose or something. But I figured we'd be done and all would be good. And I took the shot and I felt great for a few days. And then I fucking got pneumonia. And then I found out I had heart failure. And now at least 2 of my doctors have both said, no, do not take the second Moderna shot. We can't tell. We don't know if the Moderna shot caused your heart problems, but the timing is too suspicious to take the second shot. So I'm kind of fucked. New York City is basically regressed to the point that if you're outside, if you're going indoors to a restaurant or to a movie theater or anything, you supposedly need to be vaccinated. Show proof of that. So I don't know if I want somebody in my house again. What's the point? What was the point of staying safe this last 18 months if I'm going to let people in my house and I could get sick again for the first time? If I could get COVID just for starting physical therapy. I mean, by very definition, these physical therapists go from home to home of other relatively sick people. It's not a great thing. Now, Mama Prey got her second shot a few days ago, and knock wood, she's tolerating it just fine. So in another week and a half, Mama Prey will be officially fully vaccinated. But we don't even know what type of protection, if any, that's providing from the Delta variant. There's no safe place to get the news because everybody has made this political. There's no place I trust to honestly give facts because the facts, number one, are always changing. And whether even the CDC and the WHO give, even from day to day, Dr. Fauci, everybody knows, gives conflicting information day to day, week to week. I don't know what to do. I know there are fights going on YouTube. There are fights going on within families. There are fights going on within groups of friends. There are fights going on within companies over vaccines, over who should take them. Should we be forced to take them? Should the government have the power to compel us to take a vaccine? And it's a lot of hard questions. For me personally, if I don't start physical therapy, could be more harm than good. I mean, what's the point of living if I am so sick I can't actually do anything? I guess. And I would say that without physical therapy, is that making me sicker? I'm not getting, enough physical activity to keep me active, to keep the blood pumping, keep the muscles moving. Maybe that is contributing to my current dilemma. I don't know. I could talk to doctors, but no doctor is going to make a commitment to say, yeah, I should or I shouldn't. So I don't know. But I do know that as a community, as a country, as a people, and I understand there are people from outside the United States. So in your own country, you've got to have this talk with your neighbors and your families and your local governments, I guess, and figure out what you want to do. I don't think anybody should be forced to take the COVID vaccine because the death rate of COVID is small. Even if it's bigger than the flu, which it is. I believe it is. I firmly believe it is. It's still relatively small. But I think to myself, what if it really was 10%? What if 10% of people who got the virus died? Okay? And what if just to keep the math simple, what if without being vaccinated, you had a 10% chance of dying? But with the vaccination, you had a 1% chance of dying from the vaccine and only a 1% chance of dying from the virus should you get it while you're vaccinated. Well, now that's a pickle, isn't it? And I think in some respects that's the dilemma we have. Now, I think the numbers are much smaller than 1% and 10%. But if we're talking 0.1% and 0.01%, it's still there. I mean, the cases are still going to be there. They're just harder for us to comprehend. So I think it's safe to say if we had a 10% chance of dying should we get COVID, a 1% chance of dying should we get vaccinated, and a 1% of dying should we get COVID after being vaccinated, would it pay to get vaccinated? I would say the answer most clearly is still yes. But should the government force it? I don't know. At some point, there is some number where I think, yes, the government could force it. I don't know that we're close to it. But if it was 50% of people were going to die who didn't get the vaccine and only 1% who got the vaccine die, then absolutely it should be forced. So there is a number out there that would turn me to it. And I don't know. Do you guys have a number? Those of you who are against forced, coerced vaccination, is there a number where you would change your mind and say, no, at this point it does make sense? Or would you always be, regardless of the number, or would you always say, there's no point where the government should be able to force vaccinate me? And I wanted to point out that for all practical purposes, the government more or less force vaccinated us in the past for polio, for smallpox, and to this day, if you're going to go to school, any type of public education, or even private college, you need basic vaccinations and measles, mumps, rubella, and some other basics that's already been enforced. So I mean, if you can't go to school if you're not vaccinated unless you have some type of medical clearance, obviously, if you're not medically able to be vaccinated, obviously, I'm not saying that they need to force people who would die to take it. Obviously, if you have a medical reason you can't be vaccinated, then you would be excused. But for those who don't have a medical reason, they can't be vaccinated. That's who I'm talking about. Is there a number that you would change your mind? I don't know. For me, I'd say yes. Um, uh, Uncle Remus says, Bird of Prey, have you seen the trailer for the new Clint Eastwood movie, Cry Macho? No, I have not. I'll check it out, Uncle Remus. Dee Dee says, Bird of Prey, I got the one that only takes one shot, never to get another. So you got the Johnson & Johnson, or depending what country you're in, there was another company making it. Random Menace says, get the Johnson & Johnson 6 months after the Moderna. That's what I was thinking. I was going to bring it up to my doctor. But, I mean, it seems like the Johnson & Johnson provides almost no protection from anything, to the point that people who got the Johnson & Johnson, in some cities, they're allowing them to go ahead and get the Pfizer or the Moderna on top of the Johnson & Johnson. So I don't know if there's any point to getting the Johnson & Johnson. Carlos is Bird of Prey. You have been getting worse over the last year. I think that you not being able to get out, chair life, and the worry you have and the lack of support of physical therapy has been making you worse. Well, yeah, I mean, certainly not getting out probably made things worse, the lack of physical therapy. But I guess the thing is, Carlo, where do I draw the line? Do I risk getting the virus? Do I risk Mama Prey getting the virus to do physical therapy that may or may not do anything to help improve me? Dee Dee Myers is good question. If that was your situation, I wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, it could be anything. Sorry, you have to go through it. It's truly no fun. It's okay, Dee Dee. I was just putting it out there. Carlos is Bird of Prey. We all take a risk every day. The flu can be deadly too, and even the new vaccine. It's what you are willing to take and what you think is best for you. Uncle Remus says the world is effed. Uh, Carlos says the flu is controlled by vaccinations. Dee Dee says, Bird of Prey, you're right. No one needs to be forced to take it. It should be up to the individual to make the call. And Dee Dee says it's a very big pickle. Al Deadite says, hey, Bird of Prey, my parents really want me to get the vaccine. Should I? You know, Deadite, that's a decision you're going to have to make. You should make it with your doctor, not me. And Hector says you shouldn't ask Bird. No, you shouldn't. I mean, you can, but my answer is you should talk it over with your doctor. I don't know your medical history, El Deadite. If you have any history of allergic reactions to other vaccines or what's in the vaccines, then probably not. But, you know, talk to a doctor, not the person giving the shot, an actual doctor, be it your primary care doctor or a doctor you see at a clinic, and explain your history and see what they say. Easlin says, I am glad the virus was not a super spreader like German measles, which is something we did not know in spring 2020. Well, it seems like this new version might be. D.D. Myers says, L. Deadite is the question. That is the question. Ungreen says, Lambda strain is coming as well. This is not going to end well. Rock Solid says, the vaccines are not safe as they promote. I am living proof. Fight for your individual liberties. Fight the globalists. Fight for your right to live as you see fit. Easlin says the government would be justified to keep people out of public schools and other places if not vaccinated. That's true. Are there any governments that do force it? Asks Arabic. I don't know. I would assume there are. Al Deadite says, I don't want to get it at this point. I would be really doing it for my parents' sake. Captain Tracks Bird of Prey is UK. A study shows 10 times the number of people committed suicide compared to the number of COVID deaths. That's believable. Uncle Remus says public schools won't be open long. They are already having problems. Reggie Poole says people can be strongly encouraged, even compelled, to get vaccinated through denial of services, air travel, restaurant access, etc. And El Deadite says, oh, wait, I am already dead anyway. Captain Trax says, do not get the shot for anyone else. If you want to, that's your choice, but only do it if you want to. Easlin says, I got vaccinated for my 80-year-old mom. Not saying you reading this should get vaccinated. Look into the real facts. Second shot kicked my butt, but still glad I got it. Dee Dee says, Bird of Prey, I only got the shot because my wife was having a low immune system. Wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gotten it. Well, that's good. It's a good enough reason, for sure. Rock Solid says, I'm always against forced vaccination when the survival rate is as high as COVID-19. Could you still get sick? Sure. But if you get sick, big deal. It's largely an inconvenience. Most won't die. And Dee Dee says, correct, the Johnson & Johnson. Reggie Bull says, if you don't get vaccinated for yourself, then do it for your others, your parents, your children, and your community. Easlin says, if we saw cases of polio as in old time or something similar, people would be cheating and stealing stealing to be vaccinated. Absolutely. people would be cutting in line. People would be trying to be like, no, I'm first. Captain Trax is Bird of Prey. I got the shot and I am against not only all forced vaccinations, but all lockdowns. They have to end now. Yes, people will get sick and die, but the suicide rate will be greatly reduced. Eastland says Bird needs physical therapy to build him up. And Eastland says, yep, trade-offs. Carlo Albanese says medical advancements had helped increase the survival rate for many things. People used to die from an infection, but now we have medication to help. But medical technology is still very new and has a long way to go. Absolutely. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey. That is an awesome answer for El Deadite. The Random Menace is Bird of Prey. You are one of the few who should be protected by the collective immunity if you decided not to get it. Yeah, but I was for it from the very beginning. I was enthusiastic to get it. I really thought it was a triumph of our modern medicine. Carlos says, I don't think anything should be locked down, but I do think the vulnerable should have had the choice. More than have died because of lockdowns, like the way they were done, and still will suffer for yet to come. Dan says, Bird of Prey is not a doctor. This is true. I am not a medical doctor. Not as recognized by the United States or any UN member nation. Captain Track says, Richie Poole is not selfish at all. Actually, some studies show that the shot is not a vaccination. Okay, well, it is a vaccination. I don't know. That's like LDG level stuff coming out. Agner says you can call it what you want, but it reinforces your defenses against the virus. It's a vaccine. Carlo puts hugs to everyone. Random Menace's PSA, one of the mandatory things for every vaccine to be approved is it has to dissolve latest 2 weeks after being injected. The only thing that remains are your own trained cells. Uncle Remus says no Friday night tights tonight. Really? That'd be surprising, Uncle Remus. Maybe they're just late. You know Gary. He can't. He'll be late to his own funeral. Rock Solid says screw infection rate. What's the survival rate? Death rate. And by large, COVID is totally survivable. Yeah, I get it, but it is now. It wasn't so much at the beginning. And yeah, Eastland says soon we'll be back in the days when people die of minor infection because antibiotic overuse and antibiotic resistant germs. That is more scary. Captain Track, it says he's pro-vaccination, but these are not a vaccine. Captain, I think you're spending too much time on LTG streams. Okay. So there, did I save the link to what I wanted to? Okay. Okay. There's one more story I want to We're going to take a hard right turn here, and go to a completely different topic. This topic is not great for YouTube, but I've got to bring it up because I saw this and like I double face palmed at why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? And this is not the article I read this morning, so I'm not sure if everything I read is in this article. The one I read is actually from Inside Edition, but here. Now, I'm not going to read out every word in the title, but you can see it. A German court sets trial for a 100-year-old man alleged to be a in-person guard. The man is 100 fucking years old. 100 fucking years old. The man is 100 fucking years old. You're going to bring him to court now? What the fuck are you going to do to him? So the fuck what? Oh shit, he's guilty? You're going to put him in prison? You're going to put a 100-year-old in prison? He probably doesn't even know where the fuck he is right now. It boggles the mind. You're making me feel bad for a fucking N person. How do you do that? How is it in 2021 a literal N person I feel bad for? What the fuck? It makes no sense. Worse, if this is like the other article, not only is this 100-year-old man about to go on trial for being a guard at a bad place 100 fucking years ago or 80 fucking years ago for, I don't know, 6 months of his life, a 96-year-old woman has also been accused of being an N person because she was allegedly a secretary for an N person back 80 fucking years ago. What the fuck are you doing, Germany? Fuck them. It's over. It is fucking over. Okay? If they made it to 100, if they made it to 96, so the fuck what? You know what? My grandfather fought those guys. He got shot by those guys. He did not like those guys. He would not give a shit if a 96-year-old woman was a secretary for one of them. He would say, what the fuck are you guys doing? Wasting time, wasting money. And so the fuck what if you convict them? You're going to pick up the tab for their medical bills and shit so they can sit in a fucking old home, folks home that you're going to call a prison? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You can't win this. This is a PR battle you've already lost. I can't believe it. I feel bad for a fucking Nazi. I did not think I was going to wake up today, put on the computer, and like almost tear up reading about a goddamn Nazi. But that's what happened. Because this man is 100 years old. He claims he's not even the person they're looking for. Now, I've watched Deep Space Nine. We know the Cardassians always claimed they weren't the prison guard the Bajorans were looking for. But that conflict was 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier. This was 40, 60, 20, 80 fucking years ago. Maybe longer. Maybe longer. Who? What? Where? These? No. No. I feel like we got to slap whoever is in fucking charge of this in Germany and just slap some sense into them. This is ridiculous. And I know, it's easy because, you didn't lose family to the Nazis. You know what? I didn't lose family, thank God, but I almost did. They were shot at. I had family in the war. I had family fighting them. If one of them died, I might not have known. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I had a great uncle who I would have known had he not been killed in the war. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's been too long. Give it up. I'm sorry, but a 100-year-old former guard at the concentration camp will stand trial in Germany accused in complicity in 3,518 murders. 3,518? That is a very specific number. The unnamed suspect accused of assisting in the murder of prisoners at the Saskatchewan camp near Berlin between 1942 and 1945. His alleged crimes include complicity in executions by firing squad and poisonous gas. I gotta say, if he was there for 3 years, 3,000 seems like a fairly low number. On Monday, prosecutors confirmed the man would be fit to stand trial in October. How can they confirm he's fit to stand trial in October when there's a 1 in 10 chance he'll be dead by October by natural causes, not even counting COVID? He's probably not fit to stand, let alone fit to stand trial. Prosecutors say the man underwent a medical assessment, which, despite his advanced age, deemed him fit to appear in court for 2.5 hours per day. 2.5 hours per day. So what? Does he go to jail for 2.5 hours per day if he's found guilty? The newspaper quoted one lawyer, Thomas Walther, as saying many of the complaints were just as old as the accused and expect justice to be done. Many of the complainants were 100 years old and expect justice to be done. German media says the trial is expected to be one of the last concerning crimes committed during the En's era. The survivors and perpetrators are now very old. No fucking shit. About 200,000 people were imprisoned at the camp between 1936 and 1945. Who identified this guy? Political opponents, prisoners of war, and persecuted groups were among those detained there by the SS, the N people's foremost security agency. The museum says tens of thousands of prisoners died at the camp as a result of hunger, disease, forced labor, extermination operations, and other causes. So why is he only getting the blame for 3,518? Germany has been pursuing its former camp workers since landmark ruling in 2011 that convicted a former guard, John Dejamajunk, as an accessory to mass murder. He died pending an appeal, but the verdict set a legal precedent. Yeah, precedent is we can arrest 100-year-olds. Previously, courts had required evidence of direct involvement in atrocities. Although the number of suspects in Nazi crimes is dwindling, prosecutors are still trying to bring individuals to justice. In July 2020, a 93-year-old former concentration camp guard was found guilty of complicity for more than 5,000 prisoners. But in March this year, prosecutors said a 96-year-old alleged former camp guard was unfit to stand trial. Okay, this one doesn't make mention of the 96-year-old woman who was a secretary to a Nazi general or somebody. A secretary. Literally. 100 fucking years old. What the fuck? Fucking Germany. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. And Ungarimus puts up the Friday Night Tights link. Okay, so it's coming on. Good. Richie Pools is a hard right turn. Oh no. And Carlos says, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a map. BBC News, yes. Yes, yeah, I'm sorry. Kitty Bear says, give him the prison. Give him life in prison. Hector says, at least it's not for something he posted in Twitter. Dee Dee says, Bird of Prey, it's crazy because it's more than likely he's near death. You goddamn right he's near death. Random Menace says, real thing. As I read it, it was like, where were you the last 70 years? Angry says, did the 100-year-old get the jab? If not, let nature run its course. No, he wasn't in Argentina. He's in Germany. Apparently, he's been in Germany the whole fucking time. Professor Brainy Specs, it's Captain Track. Okay. Yeah, you guys are arguing over the definition of vaccine. Don't argue over the definition of a word. If somebody doesn't want to accept the definition of a word, just ignore it. You're not going to change their mind. He wasn't hiding. Dan has a relative who's 103 and their memory is quite good. Where were they, Dan, 75 years ago? Don't say if they were in Germany. They'll come for him. Actor says hashtag free Gina. I did. I said it, Richie Poole. Dee Dee Myers' bird, piss and him and let nature take its course. Yeah. Yes, there are still unexploded World War II bombs, but that's different. Try slapping a German and see what happens. I don't know. They seem pretty used to having a hands-on culture in Germany. Dee Dee Myers as well said, need to be out. Bird of Prey, well said, need to be out. Okay, please stop arguing over fucking words. A vaccine is a vaccine. Okay, it's the COVID vaccine. If you don't want to accept it, you don't have to. You just look really stupid. Kitty Bear says, Carlo, not all the German guards were bad. My granddad owed his life to the German guards who let the prisoners out of the camp to run away from the Russians. Well, it's nice of them, I guess. Yeah, good luck finding witnesses against him, says Hector. Joe Black says, if he did the crime, then I don't mind them putting him away. I wouldn't waste my time on it, though. Just lock him away for any time he has left. Well, if he confessed and said, I'm guilty and I want to be punished, then yeah, whatever. You know what? Go ahead. Lock him up. First off, understand the man's 100 years old. Germany is not throwing him in solitary confinement. Okay? They're going to put him basically in an old age home. And they're going to say, you can't go out. Which is probably what I assume they've already told everybody in all their other old age homes because of COVID. They probably can't go out either. They're probably already prisoners. It's probably going to be no worse than his day-to-day life. $54.5 Access Radio says, note to self, keep hiding. That is good stuff. You do 54.5 Access Radio. Yeah, bringing up the news you need to use if you were listening. If you're listening to 54.5 Access Radio, be aware the Germans are still looking for you. Arabic Sound is a bird of prey. What if we didn't find Osama been hiding till he was 100? I honestly won't be alive. I probably wouldn't be alive at that point, so I doubt I would care. If we didn't find him at that long, I really wouldn't have cared. Honestly, even at the point where it was like, okay, he's dead. Mama Pray didn't even wake me when it happened. I was asleep. I didn't find out till the next day when Osama bin Laden died. But yeah, killed. Yeah, what about Werner von Braun? He's still celebrated as a great man. Well, he was, because he changed sides. If you were a bad guy, but then you got our astronauts to the moon, it was all good. It was all good. Richie Poole says, I think Bird is calming down now. Richie Poole says, trees, Bird of Prey, trees. Nothing, you don't need to apologize, Professor. Nobody needs to apologize. Just please don't get yourselves so angry. Both of you, all of you. I don't know if there was more than 2 people involved. Random Menace with Bird of Prey. The history is deep wound in Europe, and he will not go to prison. It's about justice. Where's the justice? Where's the justice? The guy's 100 years old. Tim Christ says, Bird of Prey, what was this guy supposed to do in World War II? Walk out on the stockade. They would have shot him in desertion. If you're low on the military totem pole, you follow orders. Tim, that's the whole other issue, right? I mean, what is he supposed to do? If he's, 20 years old, 18 years old, and I'm like, you're in charge of this guard tower. Shoot anybody who crosses that line. Well, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You can either shoot anybody who crosses that line or shoot yourself, or you run away and get shot. And those are your choices, right? You can't, there's no other choice. There's no, I choose to passively resist. I want to be a non-combatant, right? They didn't have that, right? The Germans didn't have the option of saying, I have a real personal problem with firing a weapon. I don't want to serve. Maybe I can be a photographer instead. No, that wasn't an option in Germany. So that's a whole other issue, is when it actually gets to court, is how does somebody find somebody guilty if they weren't, if you're a top tier guy, if you were one of the architects, okay, you rose through the ranks and you clearly wanted to be a big kahuna, in the party, then I get it. You're guilty. Okay, I get it. You're guilty. But if you're just the rank and file German soldier in the camp, who the hell are we to say you're what was your choice? What was the option? Who's going to make a different choice? I don't know that I would. I'm like, well, fuck. Kill these other people or be killed myself. I tell you, I'm not. It's not a position you want to be in. Carlos's atrocities undone on all sides. We must learn from the past and make sure we improve and unite for our future. I could. I don't know about all sides, but there were a lot of atrocities. Tim Chris is Bird of Prey. Yeah. Captain says we can talk if you wish. But as of now, I'm deleting my YouTube. Well, Captain, I think that's a bad decision, but it is your decision to make. I really think you should wait a day and you will change your mind. Carlos is Bird of Prey. He didn't change sides. He was caught and given a chance because of his knowledge. He was caught. Oh, caught. Well, he changed his sides when he was caught. The Random Menace says my grandfather survived the camp. He said the winters were harsh up on the towers. Yeah, so, and then in brackets, it's a joke. I got it. It's a joke. Richie Poole says, Actor, trees didn't get Bird of Prey worked up. Actor Richie Poole, I don't want him worked up. I already supported nuking countries and alleged war criminals. I fear that would be next. Brian McFarland says, hi-de-ho, everybody. Hi-de-ho, Brian. All major sides in big wars commit small and big atrocities, says Hector. I'll agree with that, Hector. I'll agree with that. And war crimes are still committed to this very day. I agree with that. That's true. War is an atrocity, says Richie Poole. It is. That's why war is always the last option. Springtime says Bird of Prey. How's it going, buddy? Are your defense systems up for running to protect you and your family from Matthew and the professor and their army of death hippie commandos? I think we'll be okay springtime, but thank you. Anyway, guys, I think I've said my piece for today. I think we'll call it a day here. Thank you for hanging out. TBIF. Check out some people streaming later. I'm sure there will be Friday night streams for other people. And I will see you guys later. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. or possibly earlier, Terminator 2 Judgment Day for Cinema Saturday. Hope to see you all there. Qapla all. And yes, social media is making everything worse. I agree. Bird out. That said, find me on social media. But wait, there's more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Birdo Prey 5 needs. At the main Birdo Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Birdo Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Birdo Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Kuroga.